These are my dream diaries. This was my first dream diary that I started in 2014. It spans 2014, 2015, 2016. In 2017, I managed to write down my dreams every single day for the whole year. And yeah, some of those dreams was drunk, can't remember anything. But the point is, I have an entry for every single day of the year. And in 2017, I also started going through my dreams at the end of every month and looking for recurring themes. I would find a lot of animals, a lot of people, a lot of situations, and throughout the course of the year it expanded to things like so types of buildings. Was I in a house? Was I in a supermarket? Was I in a school? Was I at work? Was I in a car? Was I in a different type of transport? Was I on a boat? Was there water there? Was that water nice and clean, or was it murky? Different animals, food and drink, all sorts of stuff. And so it got to a point where, yeah, I realized, hey, you've dreamt about being in the passenger seat of a car 4 times this month. What do you reckon that means? It probably means I feel like I'm not really in control of my own life. A passenger in my own life, so to speak. Stuff like that. I would do stuff like that. I'm in the process of revising that because I'm currently learning a lot about the psychological aspects of dreams and dreaming, and learning a lot about Jungian dream analysis. So I'm not gonna do a video on how I was interpreting my dreams. I will talk about it, but I'm not gonna teach it. I have always used pen and paper, or pencil and paper. I find pencil works quite well because if you're writing in the dark, you don't know if your pen's run out of ink or not, and that has happened to me before, and that is devastating. So for quite a while I would use a pencil until I found pens that I really trusted. I have spoken to a couple of other people who keep dream diaries. Sometimes they like to use their phone, type it into their phone. I have also tried, while still, writing notes in the book, going into more detail through doing an audio recording or a video recording. So far I keep coming back to the pen and paper because I'm old school. I like it. It works for me. But there's a lot of things out there. You can choose your favorite medium. When the first dreams were written down though, they didn't even have pen and paper. They had clay tablets. And we're talking ancient Sumeria, about 2700 BCE rather. Sumeria is in modern day Iraq, or it's around the area of modern day Iraq. Anyone who's interested in old religions or old history would probably know the Epic of Gilgamesh, which is an heroic poem, and in which Gilgamesh, who is a Sumerian king who actually lived. He existed. And several other characters within this narrative have dreams that are messages directly from the gods. These dreams are interpreted by wise people. Gilgamesh's mother, Gilgamesh's friend Enkidu, and they mostly seem to be prophetic dreams. So, foretelling the future, including Enkidu's own demise. He dreams of his own death and why he must die. The concept of dreams being from the gods is not unique to the Sumerians. The ancient Egyptians held similar beliefs. Ancient Greeks as well, to the point where they would build these temples to specific gods that were dream incubation facilities, where you could go with a question on your mind to ask the god in a dream. Dream incubation and dream analysis were treated a lot like other areas of science and medicine at the time. Around 500 BCE, Greek natural philosophers started throwing around the concept of dreams originating within the dreamer and not being kind of put into the mind of the dreamer directly by deities. And this concept of dreams being in different categories sort of sprouted forth. You ended up with the concept of roughly 3 different types of dreams. This is found within the Assyrian dream book, the Egyptian dream books, and Greek natural philosophy of the time. Typically, visit by deity, health diagnostic dreams, and prophetic dreams. The deity dreams we have talked about. The diagnostic dreams, much like a headache or a rash might indicate a certain type of illness, so too could certain dreams suggest bodily ills. To the point where physicians of the day, Hippocrates, Aristotle, and others, were writing volumes on the medical realm of dreams. Scroll down. So, actually, we didn't even talk about the Egyptian papyrus. So, the first dream dictionary, I suppose you could call it, where the interpretations of over 100 common dream scenarios, objects, were recorded. interpretation would begin with which god the dreamer associated with, and then the dream would be based on what the dreamer dreamt, would be put as a good dream or a bad dream. Such classics as dreaming of looking in a mirror, dreaming. I think there's a dream about teeth falling out. I think there's a dream about dying, all this sort of stuff. Artemidorus, in about 200-ish CE, went around Greece and collected thousands of dreams and their interpretations. Best collection of ancient dream information that we have. The importance of dreams and dream interpretation didn't really take off in the Western world until sort of the 19th century, with the writings famously of Sigmund Freud and Carl Jung. Even they disagreed in the end on how dreams should be looked at. I know there is also an entire history in Eastern, cultures and other indigenous cultures, rich histories on the meanings and interpretations of dreams. I'm very keen to do a video about that. I think they deserve their own video, and I need to give myself enough time to research it to present the information properly. I think dreaming and interpreting one's dreams has become more accessible than ever. In ancient Egypt and Sumeria and ancient Greece, it wasn't it wasn't the peasants getting their dreams interpreted. It was rulers and aristocrats and politicians and leaders of all sorts. Important people were apparently the only ones who were spoken to by the gods. But that is not the case these days. Anyone can have their wild dreams interpreted and legitimized. We still don't really know definitively why we dream. But I think those three things are a good place to start. And the first steps to dream interpretation is dream recording. You are not gonna be able to go any further if you don't get it on paper, get it on your phone, get it somehow out of your head and recorded, etched, put it on a clay tablet, whatever works for you. But that's really step one. If you have any interest in your dreams at all, is start a dream journal. As it so happens, product placement just here, I have been working on this little design, which was inspired by the research that went into this video. So if you maybe want to make this your first dream journal, your 5th dream journal, present for a friend, don't even have to use it for dreams if you don't want to, head on over to my Etsy shop, info here, and order one. Well, I've had so much fun researching this. I have honestly barely scratched the surface. There is actually a lot of really detailed information out there about the history of the concepts of this, all of the ancient Greek philosophy, a lot of stuff to do with Sumeria. So if you want a bit more of a specific, bit more of a sort of a history nerdy kind of video on that stuff, let me know in the comments. Next video is in the works. We'll be looking at more the physiological and scientific, the biological. It'll be a biological and physiological overview of what happens to our bodies and our brains when we're dreaming. I'm really, really enjoying that one. So, thank you again for joining me on this voyage of discovery. And until then, be a dreamer, and I'll see you soon.